History is a story. It's a grand narrative we tell ourselves about where we came from. But like any story, some characters get the spotlight while others remain in the shadows. We remember names like Edison, Marconi, and Bell. Their faces are carved into the Mount Rushmore of innovation. But what if I told you that this story is incomplete? What if the brightest stars in the constellation of human ingenuity are ones you've never even heard of? The universe is vast, and so is our history. We often see only the most prominent celestial bodies, missing the pulsars and quasars that pulse with incredible energy just beyond our immediate sight. The story of invention is no different. It's a cosmic ledger with pages torn out, names erased. Why do some creators receive endless accolades while others fade into obscurity? The reasons are as complex as the laws of physics. Sometimes it's a simple matter of timing or luck. A brilliant idea might arrive just a little too early for the world to comprehend its significance. Other times, the reasons are far more terrestrial, rooted in the messy, imperfect nature of human society. Prejudice, power, and money can act like gravitational forces, warping the fabric of history itself. They can pull credit away from the true source and redirect it towards someone with more influence, more resources, or simply a more acceptable face to the establishment of the time. Imagine a library where the most important books have had their authors' names scratched out. This is, in many ways, the library of human progress. We read the chapters, we benefit from the knowledge, but we fail to honor the mind that conceived it. Let's begin with a name that flickers at the edge of mainstream consciousness: Nikola Tesla. You may have heard of him, perhaps associated with a futuristic car company. But the man himself was an architect of the modern electrical age, a visionary whose mind crackled like lightning. Tesla dreamed of a world powered by alternating current, AC. This system could transmit electricity over vast distances with minimal loss. It was elegant, efficient, revolutionary, electrifying not just a city block but entire continents. His vision put him on a direct collision course with the most famous inventor of his day, Thomas Edison. Edison championed direct current, DC. Simpler, but terribly inefficient over long distances. Edison had built an empire on DC and wouldn't let it be dismantled. What followed was the War of Currents, a battle for the soul of the grid. Edison, the master of PR, launched a vicious campaign to discredit AC. He publicly electrocuted animals to show its dangers, painting Tesla's system as a deadly menace. Tesla, by contrast, was a different kind of showman. A scientist, a dreamer, not a businessman. He stood on stage as thousands of volts coursed through him, lighting a bulb he held in his hand. Demonstrating safety and potential through pure science, he envisioned wireless energy, power broadcast through the air, free for all to use. Ideas meant to elevate humanity and connect the world. But brilliance alone wasn't enough. AC won and became the global standard, yet Tesla did not. He sold patents to George Westinghouse for a lump sum, sacrificing future royalties. Edison became synonymous with invention, while Tesla died alone and in poverty. The ghost in the machine, the man who lit the world yet, was left to languish in the dark. Now, let's travel from the world of electricity to the world of communication. Picture Hollywood's golden age. The silver screen flickers with glamorous stars. One of the brightest was Hedy Lamarr, an Austrian-born actress known for her breathtaking beauty. Her face was famous across the globe. But behind that famous face was a mind of extraordinary brilliance, an inventive spirit that would lay the groundwork for essential technologies. Most people saw a movie star. They failed to see the scientist. They failed to see the engineer. They failed to see the secret inventor working late into the night after a long day on a film set. During the darkest days of World War II, Lamarr was horrified by the news from Europe. She was especially concerned with Nazi submarines sinking Allied ships. Radio-guided torpedoes were easily jammed. Once the frequency was identified, it could be blocked. Drawing on knowledge from a prior marriage to an arms manufacturer, Lamarr had a radical idea. What if the signal jumped rapidly between frequencies? The enemy would never find and jam it. With composer George Antheil, synchronization via player piano-style rolls unlocked a frequency-hopping system. Together they patented a secret communication system in 1942. Split screen, Hedy Lamarr, and her invention. They created a symphony of signals, a dance of frequencies virtually impossible to intercept. They offered it to the United States Navy for a decisive edge, but the Navy dismissed the idea. Perhaps they couldn't believe that a glamorous movie star and an avant-garde composer could solve a complex engineering problem. The invention was shelved, its potential unrealized. Lamarr's contribution became a footnote. She was told she could help by selling war bonds. The world saw only the actress, not the inventor. Her brilliant mind, capable of shaping the future, was hidden in plain sight. And yet, the chorus of forgotten innovators did not end in Hollywood. Our journey now takes us away from war rooms and high-voltage laboratories to a place far more familiar, the home. This is where Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner lived and worked. She wasn't a celebrity or a rival to industrial titans. She saw problems in everyday life and from a young age, dedicated herself to solving them. Her mind was a constant whirl of practical ingenuity. As a child, she tried to invent a self-oiling door hinge to stop a squeaky door at her family home. This drive to improve her world would define her life, even as the world put up barrier after barrier. Kenner's most significant contribution offered comfort and dignity to millions. In an era when menstruation was taboo and products were rudimentary, she designed the sanitary belt. Her initial design from the 1920s featured an adjustable belt with a moisture-proof napkin pocket, far more effective and hygienic than cloth rags. Visual. A simple, annotated early prototype, elegant and universal. It was an invention born not of fame or fortune, but from empathy and a desire to make life better. She spent decades refining her invention, saving up for the costly patent process. In 1957, she filed a patent. A company saw clear commercial potential. They were on the verge of marketing it, a moment that should have secured her future. But when their representative met her in person and discovered she was an African-American woman, their interest vanished. The offer was withdrawn. The door of opportunity was slammed shut by racial prejudice. Despite rejection, Mary Kenner never stopped inventing. She received 5 patents, more than any other African-American woman in history. She created a carrier for walkers and a holder that kept the loose end accessible. Yet she never received the recognition her creativity deserved. The work of these forgotten inventors isn't just a historical curiosity, it's alive, it's breathing. It is humming inside the technology that powers our civilization. Their shadows stretch to the present day. Every time you flip a switch, you complete a circuit that exists because of Tesla's victory in the war of currents. The AC from your wall powers your refrigerator, your television, and the computer you may be using. Tesla's legacy. He envisioned a global grid, and we live inside his dream, even if his name isn't first. Think about your smartphone. You use it to connect to Wi-Fi, to pair headphones via Bluetooth, to find your location with GPS. All rely on spread-spectrum communication. An evolution of Lamarr and Antheil's frequency hopping system. Their secret symphony, once meant for torpedoes, now guides the packets that connect you to the world. The Navy ignored it, but the idea was too powerful to stay buried. It re-emerged to form the bedrock of wireless communication. And what of Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner? Her story is one of quiet, persistent impact. Her belt was superseded, but she pushed personal care forward. She tackled a taboo with engineering and empathy, paving the way for a modern, global industry. Her work, and that of others, helped make health products accessible and sophisticated, granting comfort and freedom to billions. These are not isolated examples. They are echoes in the machine of progress. History is messy. Some ideas celebrated, some stolen, some forgotten. So why do brilliant minds end up in the shadows? The universe doesn't play favorites. An idea is just an idea. On Earth, ideas are judged by their holders. This amnesia is deeply human. For Nikola Tesla, a battle of paradigms and of personalities. He was a visionary but a poor businessman. Opposite him, Thomas Edison, a master of marketing, who knew perception can outweigh reality. Tesla's eccentricity and world-scale focus over immediate products made him vulnerable. He lost the war for credit, For Hedy Lamarr, celebrity's blinding light and sexism reduced a military-grade innovator to a stereotype. Officials weren't just evaluating an invention, they were evaluating the inventor. They saw her gender and her profession before they saw her genius. Mary Kenner faced systemic racism. Her story is painfully clear. The quality of her invention was never in doubt. The company saw its value immediately. The single factor that derailed her success was the color of her skin. A wealthy inventor who was a black woman was actively resisted. The system was designed to block her rewards. She was denied by injustice, not by merit. Forces that warp history, lack of resources, celebrity power, gender bias, race, ethnicity. An inventor needs funding, connections, timing, and a society willing to listen. The universe is full of stories. Some are written in blazing suns, others in the subtle dance of gravity, visible only if we know how and where to look. So it is with invention. Recognizing hidden geniuses is reclamation. It restores an honest, complete, inspiring picture. Genius has no gender, no race, no nationality. It can spark anywhere. Imagine if we'd fully embraced these minds. If Tesla's wireless visions were funded. If Lamarr's intellect was celebrated. If Kenner was empowered by her inventions. How much further might we be? How many more problems solved? The next world-changing breakthrough could come from anyone, if we're willing to see it.